Hi there, it's G and Yanka with another amazing parenting for you. Today, we'd like to talk a little bit about how to be honest and authentic as a parent.
Now, why is it important to be honest and authentic, to keep it real? Well, you might have noticed, if you have kids, that kids have a radar for phoniness, and they can spot when you're not being honest. They can spot when you're pretending. They can spot when you are saying things that you don't really mean or that you don't really feel. And as soon as they spot that there's something off, it harms the trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's also important to ask yourself the question, what is honesty? And this is something which requires a little bit more objectivity than usual. This does not mean that you tell the truth as you see it, but you have to try to look at the cold, hard facts of the situation. And it requires some thought and study. You have to put some energy into it. You have to put some energy into observation of patterns, looking at what people do. You have to put some thought into understanding history, the who, the where, the what, the when. You have to make a personal needs assessment of what's necessary for people and necessary for your children in your relationship with them, and you have to understand what's motivating them to do things. You also need to recognize real virtue, not just signal virtue, and be willing to adapt and change when it's necessary.
As parents, we often underestimate our children. We're trying to hide things from them because we don't think that they could deal with it. We try to spare their feelings, and we either lie or we lie through omission. We just don't tell them. We are scared to show our feelings. We are scared to be authentic. We are scared to cry in front of our children because we're worried that it's going to stress them out, for example, right? We try not to share our financial struggles because we don't want them to worry about things that they shouldn't have to worry about. And even though there are things that maybe we should not share with our children, I think that there is a balance. There is a balance that we have to keep in mind. And I think that we should share with our kids everything that we can turn into a positive lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at times you will need to slow down. You'll need to stop and wait and think about what's happening around about you. You'll need to be respectful of other people's feelings, other people's emotions. You might even have to force yourself to hold on to your own manners at certain times. But it's really important to keep in emotional control, if you want to be honest, and lead by example. This means displaying integrity. This means having clearly defined sets of rules that you follow. You can even write them out. You can post them on the fridge. You can make a poster. You can you keep them in your wallet or your purse as you travel around. Maybe you should also have a set of standards which are acceptable for yourself and let people know these standards. Don't lower the bar if you are going to have high expectations for your life and for your children's life. And hopefully also, by doing this, you will be able to be somebody that your children look up to.
Yes, absolutely. So besides everything that you just said, what is another good way of staying honest and authentic with our children, especially when it comes to problem? I think that when we have problems, we don't necessarily have to hide them away from children, because we want to teach them that problems exist in this world and that we have to deal with them, and we can deal with them, and they can deal with them later on in life as well. So how do we do this? I think the best way is to show them that problems exist. Don't be scared to show your emotions. don't be scared to share problems that exist in the family with your children. Make them part of the family. But the positive way of doing this is not throw your fear at them, don't throw your helplessness at them, but show them how you can progress, how you can solve problems. Show them that problems that exist can be solved. And if you can do that, then your children will not be unnecessarily stressed by the situation. They will trust you. They will feel like a valuable member of the family because you include them in what's happening in the family. And at the same time, they will learn that problems are not something to be scared of. Problems are not something to hide, but it's something that can be solved together.
Yes, if you're going to be authentic, you definitely don't want to keep all of your feelings, all of your thoughts, all of your ideas away from people. You definitely don't want to live in shadows, so to speak. Try to become, if you can, the author of your own story. I think that's part of what authenticity is. Try to write the next chapter of your life the way that you want to write it. Try to embrace the power that you have and that you will also empower your children with. It might also be necessary to do things like let go of the past, live in the moment, love your future. I'm pretty sure you're going to want to think about transparency, vulnerability, integrity. So there's a lot of personal development that needs to go into being honest and being authentic.
Sorry. I wanted to jump in it. I just
wanted
to say that you cannot be honest and authentic with your children unless you're honest and authentic with yourself. And that is a very difficult thing because it involves admitting that things are wrong, admitting that there are problems, and the willingness to solve them. Sometimes it can even involve, dealing with depression or looking for help in therapy. But these are all things that are good example for your children. So self-development is the key to be able to be really honest and authentic with your children.
Yeah, authenticity lies on the other side of fear, so don't be afraid. It's the practice of positive daily habits that help us find peace in ourselves and peace in our actions. These are actions that lead to the positive changes that we want to see in our lives. These are the choices that we have to make things better. Essentially, honesty leads to authenticity, and authenticity leads you to the right choices as a parent.
Yes. And ultimately builds trust and connection.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you very much for joining us today. If you'd like more information about what we do, you can find it online. So, wherever you are, we'd like to wish you a fantastic day.
Bye.
Take care, guys.